She got it. She brought it. Oh, she brought it here? Yeah. Yeah. Good guy. Bye now.
Hey, everyone, thanks for being here. We'll go ahead and get started. West Virginia, Coach Darian DeVries, Tucker DeVries, and Javon Small, and we'll go ahead and open it up for questions.
Darian, just your reaction when you saw Gonzaga on your side of the bracket opening up, getting that kind of challenge.
Yeah, great opponent. Off to a terrific start. Their lead had a lot of different things. So very good team, very balanced team. Tremendous challenge to try to slow them down as people have seen as they've gotten off to a great start with this early season. But again, I think they're certainly deserving of their early season accolades and rankings.
Darren, great field, obviously here in Atlanta. So what are you looking for from your team and your guys coming down to this event?
Yeah, the biggest thing for us is just continue to get better and continue to grow. I think we're making some good strides throughout the year, and this is a tremendous opportunity to get a feel for where we're at with things, but most of all, just come down and compete, and that's the biggest thing we want from our team is every possession, just leave it all out there, and that's been our focus here as we've had a few days of practice to prepare for this event.
We'll go to Greg Hunter via Zoom.
So, Coach, start with the Zag style. I know they can play fast. Have you played anybody that resembles them so far this year? What's the key to try to slow down their up tempo?
Yeah, they are incredibly fast, and we certainly haven't played anybody with this type of speed. They're very, very good in transition. They're elite at it. They play to it every single game. That's a huge challenge as to how do you try to slow them down. And I think the biggest thing is making sure you have to take care of the basketball, number one. And then, making sure you're getting good shot selection so that you're not, playing in transition all the time.
Darren, since the Iona game, what have been the focal points? What are you trying to clean up as you come into this?
Yeah, we got continued to just a couple of things you just mentioned. For us, I felt like we've turned the ball over a little bit more than I would like for us. Continuing to get great ball movement and player movement. I think we've really made some strides there the last week or so. But number one thing is just kind of just our overall, just our physicality. Got to continue to get better in some areas there, and rebounding especially is a big part of that. So kind of all the things that matter for winning. That's what we want to continue to keep our focus on.
We'll go back to Zoom and Justin Jackson.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Great, thanks.
Hey, just kind of wondering, they're three guards, Battle, Nemhard, and Hickman, all shoot the three ball. I think they're all over like 42% or whatever. So, I mean, what do you see from that? And then how do you approach that from a defensive standpoint in terms of not trying to get too spread out, but then also, three guys that hit the threes like they do? What kind of challenge is that?
I think that's what makes their team so challenging to try to defend. They have a great interior presence, and then they also have great skill and efficiency out in the perimeter. So they share the ball well, they move the ball well, so they can really try to take advantage of you in a multiple different ways, whether it be on the interior or shooting three. So it does present challenges in that regard. So you got to be really sound in what you're doing defensively.
You know, it's not like they're taking 35, 43s a game, but with the way that they make them, is this one of the better 3-point shooting teams you've seen on film, I guess?
Yeah, I think they just have great balance overall. I think their whole team, they play well together. They play within their system, and they get great shots because of it. I think they're very unselfish and move the ball and share it. And again, I just like their overall balance and the way they play together.
Thank you, Coach.
On Zoom, Kevin Kinder.
Question for Javon. Javon, you're obviously really good at breaking down defenses, driving. That meshes some with this system, but there's a lot of ball movement on the perimeter, things like that to create shots. How has putting those two together worked for you so far this year? And does it become more important late in the shot clock if you don't have a good shot present itself, that you feel like, hey, I've got to get into the lane?
I feel like with the offense that we have, I'm able to fit in. I play with a lot of other great players, so I don't have to always, the shot clock's running down. I don't have to always be the person taking the shot. But just the movement that we have, we share the ball really well. Like you said, I can break defenses down, but I feel like the best way to break a defense down is just moving the ball.
Back to Greg Hunter.
So start with Tucker. Just cut for both players. Most enjoyable thing you've done so far while you've been in the Bahamas, and I know obviously they're important basketball games, but how do you mix fun with business?
Yeah, well, we got here yesterday, so we haven't been able to do too much, but the dinner was pretty good last night, for sure. But I think the biggest thing is, we're coming down here to, compete and win some games. So trying to stay focused and, you can enjoy the scenery a little bit, but, really we're here to play basketball and, really focusing on that.
Javon, same thing for you.
Like Tuck said, we just got here yesterday. So I would probably say my favorite thing so far is just running into old teammates or running into old friends so far. But definitely more of a business trip than us being on vacation. And I think that everybody understands that.
We'll go to Greg Carey.
Coach, we know about the plethora of challenges that Gonzaga presents. What do you hope that you guys can challenge them with?
Yeah, I think for us, it's making sure that we have to make them earn everything they get. It's more about from our side of things, as we presented, taking care of the basketball. If you can take care of the basketball, make sure you're getting good shot selection, the shots we want to take on the offensive end, and then defensively, making sure we're just being aggressive and playing to what our identity is, and as much as we can try to dictate on the half court defensively what we want them to try to take, and instead of allowing them to play free and play with free movement and getting the ball where they want to get to, because they're just so good when they get into a rhythm.
Justin Jackson.
Question for Tucker, and just kind of wondering, you're obviously known for 3-point shooting, making shots, mid-range as well. When you look at the guards for Gonzaga, how would you rate them? I mean, what do you see and the challenges and trying to defend them?
Yeah, I mean, like my dad said a little bit, they're all so balanced and, move it so well and can all, kind of do a little bit of everything. And then obviously, a great point guard that's able to distribute really well. So, like he said, it's on us to, play extremely hard and aggressive on defense to, try and take away as much as possible. But we know it's not going to be perfect. It really never is. But as long as we're, really playing hard and trying to make it as difficult as possible for them, that's the best chance we got. So we're just going to, try and limit everything and make it as difficult as possible for, the good players they have.
If it somehow turns into a shooting contest style of game, would you be interested in that?
If we're making more than they are.
Sure.
Back to Greg Hunter.
So Javon, for you, obviously everybody's looking at tomorrow's game, but there are three in this. Do you worry about a scout for further teams as a player on Thursday and Friday, or do you leave that up to the coaches?
We don't even know who will be playing on Thursday and Friday so far. So all we can do is just take it one game at a time.
And then a little bit for you then, Darren, along those lines. How do you guys, and you said you like this format because it's going to resemble what you're going to face in a conference tournament and such. How do coaches handle scouting of multiple opponents when you don't know who you're playing and you probably don't want to give the players too much information too far ahead?
Yeah, from my standpoint, my entire focus is on Gonzaga. The staff, takes different teams and they go through that stuff. And since we did have a week to practice, we looked at all of the opponents and just said, is there something maybe unique out there that we need to prepare for a day in practice? Since we had multiple days to prepare, just to make sure, because you don't get any practice time in between games, unlike a conference tournament where you would have already seen everybody once or twice, so you kind of have an identity there. But outside of that, the whole focus has been preparing for Gonzaga and getting ourselves in the best position possible there.
Follow up a little bit when I asked asked the players about what they've done that's fun. You've taken trips before with other teams. How do you make sure that it's business and not too much fun, or how do you allow them to have a little bit of fun and not be all business?
Yeah, I mean, we're here to play basketball. We're here to compete and try to win games, and we certainly want our guys to take in the scenery and enjoy where they're at. But this is about us putting ourselves in the best position to go play basketball and to try to win a game. And that's our guys are all about that too. So that's certainly a great experience, a great tournament. But again, we're here to play games and try to win games.
Yeah, Ryan Nemhard spent a couple of years at Creighton. Have you had a chance to connect with Coach McDermott about him, and has he given you any advice on how to kind of handle him tomorrow?
Yeah, I've seen him a lot. I mean, he's a great player. And I've watching them so closely over the years, and so feel like I got a great feel for him as a player. I mean, he's so well rounded and just terrific, unselfish, and knows how to lead a team.
And I believe you guys played them a couple of times when you were at Creighton. Did you ever have the scout for those games? And how does this team compare to the past teams that Mark's had there?
I think they're very similar. They play extremely fast, as they always have. We did start a home and home. I was on the staff when we played at Gonzaga, and then the previous year when they returned to Omaha, I wasn't there. But if I remember right, I think we were up 1, down 1 at half, and then it turned very quickly at their place. So, but very similar. I think they're just well coached. Play. Kind of the same style, very fast, very balanced, just a good overall team.
Hey, Tucker, I'm sure you've been asked this a bunch before, but I was just wondering, I'm from Arizona. I wasn't sure, was there any doubt you'd ever go to West Virginia with your dad, and how has that adjustment worked with you guys there in a different environment, different conference, et cetera?
Yeah, I mean, once he took the job, I knew that's where I was going. There's maybe some conversation before that about making sure it was right for not only him, but myself as well. And, I was all for whatever he felt like was best for both of us. And when he made that decision, I was all for it.
Following up, Coach, how has that been having him there when all this other stuff is new? Has that been kind of nice to build around with him in mind, or how has that gone?
Yeah, it's gone great. We didn't have many guys returning on the team, so it was nice to have someone, not just because he was my son, just a player that could communicate with the rest of all these new guys about when they have questions as players about maybe it's a play or some drills we're doing, just to be able to help help us as a coaching staff, get things organized. So that's been, awesome for us to have that as a luxury, as we're getting it started.
Yeah, for Tucker, just on Gonzaga's front court, they have two centers that they kind of play, they're kind of interchangeable, and then also their two fours kind of play quite a bit. What's kind of the challenge that they present there? And I'm sure you'll have some opportunities to kind of guard each of them and switch on to them tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's common with like our whole team is you just got to make it as difficult as possible, and we're gonna have to play really well together on defense. Because they move it so well, and you're naturally going to be in rotations a lot. So, as long as we play together on defense and try and limit some of the things that they want to get, it's going to put us in the best position.
We have time for one more, Justin Jackson.
Hey, Coach, I'm just kind of wondering, entering the game, obviously, Gonzaga's ranked what they are. And as the underdog, for you as a coach, do you embrace the whole underdog and tell the guy, no one believes we can win and that kind of, or do you take the other way and say, hey, we're going to go in and win? Or, how do you just, for you personally, how do you guys kind of embrace the underdog role?
Our mindset's pretty much the same every night. We want to put the best version of ourselves out there, no matter who we're playing, and that's what we'll try to do. Every single game this entire season. So, again, our focus is every night. Like, here's our opponent. What gives us the best chance to try to win this game and prepare for that.
That'll wrap us up. Thanks, everyone.